Okay everyone, back again. Here we go. Right now it's time to go through the chapters of my book. It's time to open up, not man up. As everyone knows, I do 3 videos a week roughly, but I've been off the last couple of days, as I explained in the previous video. I've been sorting out a lot of stuff and had to have a few conversations and open up about some stuff that's been buried for a long while and it's been very emotional draining, but I feel better for it. But I needed to have a couple of days just to clear my head and, keep going forward. That's what we do. So everyone knows I've got a YouTube channel called It's Time to Open Up, Not Man Up. Again, like and subscribe, have a look. There's 14 videos so far of the chapters of my book, and there's a few other videos, a few short ones about some of my poetry and a few promos for the book. The book's on Amazon. It's £12 for the hardback, and you can download it on Kindle for free. Have a read, order it if you like it, send me a review, it might help you. You don't know, And also I'm on TikTok at RandallJ215. Again, all stuff there about my book. Talk about men's mental health and the chapters, and there's a few promos again. Have a look, follow me, I'll follow you back, no problem. Alright, now I've shaken this chapter up a little bit because, there's a few other subjects I've got to go through. Because of what's gone on, I'm going to wait a little while until I'm mentally ready to talk about the other bits. But I'll go briefly into this one. We'll talk about finding your anchor and coping mechanisms for your mental well-being. So let's talk about coping mechanisms. These are like little lifelines to help us get through them difficult and choppy waters that we have to go through on a regular basis. It can get, it does get rough when we're having them short them days, and sometimes you've got to find a way of, coping. And they don't fit everyone. Everyone's got different ways of dealing with it. What works for one might not work for another, and it's fine. That's perfectly okay. The key is you've got to find what works for you, and you've got to stick to it. Well, I spoke to you before about triggers, and I went through that, and whatever them triggers may cause you, stress, anxiety, or something else entirely, it's important to pinpoint that sets us off. It could be the situation, the people you're around, or even certain thoughts that send you off spiralling, But you identify them triggers, then you can prepare yourself to handle them when they arise. So what you want to do is, once I told you before, write them all down and then start working out what helps you cope with it, i.e. deep breathing, exercising, going for a walk to clear your head, journaling, practicing, mindfulness, chill out, engage in a hobby. It's key to, you've got to experiment with all these things until you find that one that puts you in a place where you can handle the situation and it actually helps you. Like for myself, sometimes, I said it before, I like to go for long walks to clear my head. That's my thing. Also, I do like a hot bath, all the candles, the full lot, to sit there and chill. But also, sometimes a bit of music, that can chill you out. The right sort of songs, the right sort of, whatever it is that relaxes you. Again, you've got to keep practicing and trying different things to find the one that benefits you the most, and it's important. I had to go through different things. I've tried meditating. Yeah, you laugh and all that, but you know what? Sometimes it ain't just meditating, just sitting there and chilling and trying to put in your head what you can actually control and what you can't control, and try and remind yourself that you're allowed to have that emotion firstly, and secondly, you need to understand that, right, okay, that situation is bothering me, but I can't actually change that or do nothing about that. You've got to balance it out to work out what you actually can control and get yourself back to where you can control this. So it might take a few different things for you to do it, or spend time with loved ones. That helps, chatting to them and see what they've got to say about stuff. Just find something that brings you peace and gives you a sense of grounding, so you feel peace, you feel chilled. That's the most important thing. And let's not forget about boundaries, right? We call them the invisible lines you can't see. They're for our mental and emotional well-being. It's important to know the limits and communicate them clearly to others. If you're trying to work something out, you're going through something, or you're with a therapist, you're with a friend, and someone's going too far, you've got to let them know where the line is, because it takes time, and having boundaries is important. Especially if you're trying to work out a relationship or a friendship, or you're trying to just figure it all out or start again. Whatever you're doing, just make sure you've all got your boundaries in line and understand what's too far and what's right for you. Set them early, and recognise where you think that's gone too far. And ultimately, it's essential to have them and maintain our sanity in this crazy old world, you know. So remember all this, you know, just remember it's important for you to do that. Coping mechanisms are like a tool in the toolbox. They help us navigate the challenges that we go through. So don't be afraid to try different techniques. Set the boundaries that feel right for you and prioritise your own mental health over everything at that point, you know. Just see what you've got to do, right? Now, I've had questions about it, you know, people saying that opening up is important, but also you've got to do something about it. It is right. Once you open up and you start talking about it, then you've got to act. It is important, and you've got to act. You open up, then you start focusing on what you want to do and follow it through. You know, you want to do that job, you want to change your life. You have to get off your arse and change it. Opening up is what you need to do. That's the start. That's just the start of it. Once you open up, you talk to people, then it is focus and action it. So when you tell people what you want to do with your life, I want to make them changes. Don't just say it for the sake of saying it, to give your brain a little buzz. Get off your arse and do something about it as well. There's two things you got to do. Now, I've got off my arse and done it. Now, I can talk a lot about it, but I have got off my arse and I've done something about it. You know, I've improved myself. I took up writing. I've got all my debts in order. All the things that went wrong, I've got it all in order. Yeah, I got help along the way, but that's what you do. People help you, your family and friends, and there's obviously things I can't talk about that are helping me now. But at the moment, I feel better because I've opened up and I've got off my arse and done something about it. That's the important thing. I wrote a book. You can all do anything you put your mind to. Once you open up and spoke about it, then it's go forward. Action it. Focus on it. Don't just talk about it and pretend that you're doing it, because then you're just going to be stuck in that little spiral again, aren't you? It's always open up, get it out there, feel more comfortable as a man, then action. Make the changes you want to change. That's the most important thing you've got to do. Because we do talk a lot, and it's right. Talking is great, but you've got to understand at some point you've got to action it. So at the end of the day, your well-being is worth fighting for, and getting yourself right in the old noggin here is important. So just remember, again, all the coping mechanisms don't fit everything, but they're your tools in your toolbox. So you've got to use the ones that you like using, the ones that are good for you. And it may take a few attempts to find that right one, but when you find it, and you set them boundaries, you're setting yourself up to know your limits. You know what you can handle and what you can't handle. That's all you've got to do. So just focus on that. Right now, I didn't want to go to the end, but a few people have asked a bit more about me. I mean, you know my name and everything else. But look, I've got to be straight with you. And it is second from last chapter, if I remember rightly. If I can find the bloody thing, would help. I remember it, but it's sometimes, you know, it's a bit hard to remember everything. I called the chapter, Who Am I? So let's have a look. So, who am I? Firstly, my name's John Randall. I'm a East End boy, a Cockney, a proud Cockney, brought up in Forest Gate, or born in Forest Gate, raised in Beckton. A very proud Beckton man. Shout out to all the Beckton family. I'm proud of my roots, and I'm raised by my parents, John and Francis, who instilled the right values in me, the proper East End values that I am proud of today. And I carry them with me, and I carry them on to my kids. But unfortunately, mental health was a taboo subject back then. And this is why I'm trying to put this product of time changing it all, you know, it's got to change. Got two sisters who have been fantastic to me. Even though the years we've drifted, since this has all happened, they've been by my side, they've been my rocks this last 8-9 months, and I couldn't. So to Maria and Teresa, thank you so much. Thanks for everything you've done. You've helped me find my footing. You've helped me. You listen to me every day when I'm up and down. And I can't thank them enough. I love them to bits. As for me, in my personal life, I've got two amazing kids who have been my guiding light for all the dark times. And I'm talking about stuff, they listen, they understand, and they shape me into the man that I want to be today. And despite all the struggles that I've gone through and the difficulties that's gone on with the family, and me and my wife separated at the moment due to mental health, and it's been difficult. These kids have been here, and unfortunately I wore a mask for a long time to hide my pain and losing everything I hold dear, which is including my marriage. But through that, seeking help and actually being allowed to actually say the truth for one of the first time, something that's been bloody hard. And there's a lot I couldn't say, and I still can't say right now, but I will do in time, like I keep saying. But I discovered a passion for writing. I found something in me that was always just sitting there, just simmering on the surface. Never got a chance to do it. I found songwriting, writing, poetry. All this comes from that little moment of losing everything and waking up to find out who I want to be. Becoming a better man. And I feel liberated being able to talk about how I really feel and the truth about all the things that have gone on and the road I've gone down. And I am bloody proud of myself. And I'm proud of myself the last few days for opening up. Talk about something so difficult. And, telling some people that you love stuff that they probably won't quite understand, but maybe in time they might do. As long as they understand that I love them and I still love them, it is what it is. I can't, Anyway, I want to express my gratitude to my family and friends. I'm going to name them all. Neil, Sham, my brother-in-law Craig, Marvin, my friend Adam, my work friends, Mandy, Amy, Nathaniel, Scylla and Elvis. You've been fantastic, you really have. You're great people. Especially Mandy, Amy and Scylla. They've been fantastic, they've been pillars really. Helped me to get through and helped me find my strength. To my beautiful family, my beautiful nieces, Kayla, Tam, Francis, and my nephews Sam and Kenny. Thank you so much. You've been brilliant. Especially my two nieces, Kayla and Tam. They've been really good. They're lovely girls, and the rest of I love them all. My family's fantastic. And lastly, to my two beautiful kids, Kira, you're my world, and I'm beyond grateful to be your dad. I hope to continue being the best father that I can for you. I've dedicated my last year, especially for Mickey as well. Mickey's been, I've got no words for Mickey. Mickey's been my pillar, my rock, my best friend. But ultimately, he's a good kid. He's a good kid, and he understands where I'm coming from. He's had to hear some stuff as well, and he's really stepped up. And some of the stuff he's heard and saw was hard. But as a young man of 18, and I felt comfortable and trusted him to understand what I was talking about, it means a bloody lot. So I love both you kids more than you ever know. This last year I've dedicated myself to spreading the awareness of mental health. I've attended groups, I've been sharing my story, I've met different other men that have gone through so much stuff. I was in Good Maze Hospital myself, went to different therapies, different groups, and met so many varieties of people who all boils down to the same thing, not opening up. That's what it boiled down to, too scared to talk about all the subjects that I've gone through so far. It is so hard to see, watch a man struggle. Look, we're all saints. There are arseholes out there, and I'm not saying there ain't, and they do stuff that I don't condone. But majority of us going through a lot of shit you don't know about because you won't talk about it. And it is, we should open up. It's because of society and how it is. That's got to change. And I am pushing for change. Got to encourage each other. Stop putting each other down. Stop saying the fucking word man up. Open up. Talk about what's wrong with you. There's all varieties of mental health, all different things people go through. Never judge anybody, because you don't want to be in their shoes. If you've got something, I'm telling you now, it is one of the hardest things to deal with. And people say it's a load of bullshit, a load of bollocks, whatever you want to say. But when you go through something, or you need that, one day you will know. You'll see it. It'll happen in your family, or it'll happen to you. Then you'll know it's a shitty place to be in, and it's a bloody hard battle. The more of us got a community together, the more of us talk about it, instead of putting each other down, trying to open up, trying to seek the right help. So come on boys, come on lads, it's got to stop. Let's break this silence, let's create a world where we can open up and talk. We can still be men, of course we can. Having all them feelings makes us men, makes us human. So let's just stop it. It's time to start talking about how you feel. So remember, it's time to open up, not man up. Alright people, never feel alone in your struggle. We're all here. Okay? Have a lovely evening, people. Whatever you're doing. I'll be coming back again, probably Saturday night, maybe. I'll be talking about the military side and people in the army that I've got a lot of friends in and what they have to put up with and stuff that they do. I mean, they get all our respect. They fight for our country. That's it. They're the backbone, you know. But they go through a lot, and there's a lot that ain't been dealt with, you know. So I'll talk about that in the next few days. So I'm ending it now. Have a lovely evening, whatever you're doing, people. Thanks for listening to me. Remember, it's time to open up, not man up. Good night, people.